Okay, now we studied AHK to death. Now there's going to be another type of quadratic equation, okay? You're not going to have any parentheses. There's going to be an x second with an A. A is going to be a number. There's going to be an x with a B, and there's going to be a constant, which is a C. Constant means it won't have a variable. Now, to find the vertex here, you can't. It's a little bit more complicated. You can't just take the opposite of H. There's no H, okay? What you will be doing is you'll be taking the opposite of what B is, putting it on top of a division line, and then writing 2 times A. You'll put the A value, then you'll take 2 times the A number, and then divide the top by the bottom. Then you'll whatever that is, you'll just substitute for X into the equation. So, first we just talk about it. So it says identify the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the maximum minimum value, and the range of each parabola. Okay. Now this ain't AHK. X second, we apply a 1, and that's A. X is B, and then the constant C. Now A is a positive, so like on the AHK, if A is a positive, okay, it's going to be going this route. So I need to find the vertex. That's the first thing we need to find. So vertex. Okay, but we can't just take the opposite of H. There's no H. What you need to do, it's a little bit more complicated than that. You take the opposite of the B, underline it for division purposes, and you're dividing it by 2 times A. The 2 is always there. Even if the 2 is not in the equation, the 2 is always there. If you're wondering where I got the 2, it's always going to be there. See? Okay. Alright, so the opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. B is positive 2. B is positive 2, so the opposite of positive 2 would be negative 2. Now, on the bottom, we're always going to have this 2 here, whether it's in the equation or not. And then what's my A? My A is 1. So first, you got to find what 2 times 1 is. It's 2 last time I checked. Then you divide the top by the bottom. So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. That's your X value. Now to find the Y value, you simply parenthesize the X's, and you're going to substitute negative 1 in for both of the X's at the same time. So we got 1, then I make a parentheses, and I substitute negative 1. I close the parentheses, and after I close it, then I hit my second power key next to my 7. Plus 2, parentheses, and then you put negative 1 in for X, and then plus 1, the whole shebang, and you get 0. That's your vertex, negative 1, 0. Axis of symmetry, same thing. X would equal negative 1. Maximum, minimum, okay? The arrows go up, so it's a minimum. You can see the low point. It's a low point, okay? That's a minimum. In the range, you put Y with its value of 0, okay? And since the arrows are going up, we use a greater than or equal to. Eat the Y, okay? Next one. That's A, that's B, that's C. A is negative now, so now it goes downward. It's a maximum point and it goes downward. We know that much, okay? Now I need to find the vertex, okay? So the vertex drives everything, okay? So X, you don't, again, it's not opposite of H, you have to do some math here. Opposite of B, dividing it by 2 times A. So opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. And then I write down that 2 that's always going to be on bottom, and then your A value is negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Then you divide negative 2 by negative 2, you get 1. So your X value is 1. Now to find your Y value, you simply parenthesize your X's and substitute the 1 in for both the X's. So negative 1, and then 1 to the second, plus 2, and then 1, and then plus 1. So I got 2. That's your vertex, 1, 2. Axis of symmetry, X equals, remember this is the X, this is a Y, X would equal 1. Maximum or minimum? Well, that's a maximum. It's at the highest point, okay? The vertex at the highest point, so you just circle maximum. Range, you put y with its value of 2. And now the arrows are going downward, so it's a less than sign. It has to eat the number, okay? Okay, next problem. So A, B, C, okay? Now A is positive. If A is a positive, it goes this way, okay? Arrows go upward. If A is negative, arrows go downward. Okay, and then this right here is the vertex point. Once I get that, everything else pretty cut and dry. So opposite of B divided by 2 times A. So the opposite of the B is 4, positive 4, because it's negative 4 in the equation, so the opposite's positive 4. Then 2 times A, which is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. I don't want that nonsense. Hit second PRB and you get 2/3. Now you substitute that in for both your x's to find what the y value is. That's your input. You're putting it in to get the output. So 3 again. Okay, we're going to substitute 2/3, 2abc 3. It's that simple. After you close parentheses, you raise it to the second, minus 4, and then 2/3, 2abc 3, minus 2. Got negative 3 1/3. So that's your vertex. Okay, so axis is symmetry, x equals 2/3. Okay, maximum or minimum, that's a minimum. You can see that's on the bottom. It's easy to see. That vertex is at the bottom, okay? It's a minimum. Okay, range, you put y with the negative 3 1/3, and the arrows are going up, so it'd be greater than or equal to. Okay, next one. A, B, C. So A is negative, so now it goes this way. You know that's a maximum, okay? Might as well just circle that right away, okay? Vertex, opposite of B, divided by 2 times A. So opposite of B is positive 3, and then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, negative 0.75. You can write that. That's fine. I'm fine if you put that. If you want a second PRB at negative 3/4, either negative 0.75. Negative 0.75 is okay as a decimal. At least that ends. I just don't want that garbage that repeats. So negative 2, negative 3abc4. Close it. Hit the second power key. Minus 3, negative 3abc4. And then plus 4, 5 1/8. Obviously, if you did 0.75, it's 5.125, okay? Okay, so that's your vertex, negative 3/4, and then 5 1/8. Okay. Axis of symmetry, x equals negative 3/4. Range, you put your y with its 5 1/8. And from there it's going down, okay? So it'd be less than or equal to. It has to eat the number if it goes down, because that's the number's higher. Y, 5 1/8 is higher than any y value. Okay. A, B, there is no C, okay? There's no C. X second your A, X is your B. This is going to be a little bit different, okay? A is negative, it's going to do this again. That's a maximum then. So opposite of B divided by 2 times A. So the opposite of B is positive 1. and then 2. Don't make your A opposite, okay? It says opposite of B. It doesn't say opposite of A, okay? So A is -1. Okay, 2 times -1 is -2. Okay, divide your 1 by -2. You can write that, or you can go -1/2. I don't care, okay? -0.5 is fine. Or you go second PRB, -1/2. Okay, then replace your x's with that input value we just figured out. Okay, I got 1/4. Now if you did -0.5, it would have given you 0.25. That's fine, okay? Okay, so the axis of symmetry is -1/2. We already know that's a maximum. Then the range, okay? Put your 1/4 with your y. Looks like it's going down, okay? So it's less than or equal to, it eats a number. Okay, now the next one, not hard, but it's different. The x squared is your A. That don't have an x. That's not your B. That is your C. Okay, now the A is still positive, so that'll make that a minimum, because that's the low point now. Okay, now the vertex. Opposite of B divided by 2 times A. If you do not have a B, then you write 0. And then 2 times 2 is 4. You don't make the A opposite. It doesn't say opposite of A. It just says opposite of B. So 2 times 2 is 4. 0 divided by 4 is 0. Okay? Now substitute the 0 in for that x. It's going to be 5. That's your vertex, 0, 5. Okay, axis of symmetry, x equals 0. Okay, 0. Range, you put the y with the 5 value, and from there the arrow's going up. So it'd be greater than, from the 5 it goes greater. Okay, now we're going to graph. Okay, we're actually going to do the graphing. You just have to graph each equation. You don't need, I don't need you doing the range here in this. Y equals x is second plus 6x plus 9. So again, x second means this graph needs to make a U. So A, B, C, not A, H, K, but you're still making the 3 coordinates. This middle one is still your vertex. You just need to find the x using opposite of B, dividing it by 2 times A. So the opposite of positive 6 is -6. Then 2 times 1. It don't say opposite of A, it's just 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Then I divide -6 by 2, and that's -3. So that's your x value. Now, add 1 to that, -2. Subtract 1 from that, -4. It's like you're picking 1 point right, 1 point left. If I wanted to be a bigger jerk, I'd make you pick 2 points right and 2 points left, but I'll just stick with 1. So, first substitute -2. It doesn't matter where you start. 1 parentheses, -2, close it. You need a second power. Then plus 6, parentheses, -2, plus 9. Now 1, but don't clear that. So -2 gives me an output of 1. Click up, and instead of -2, you want -3 now. So just put the you want the negative still, put your cursor over the 2 with 3. 0, okay? Click up, instead of -3, you want -4. 1. Now you're good. So you go 2, 1. Okay. -3, 0, -4, 1. I don't need you doing that axis of symmetry range stuff on this assignment. I'll give you a break from that. Okay, y equals negative x to the second minus 3x plus 6. So, A, B, C, okay? Still going to be a u, okay? It's going to be upside down because A is negative, but I know it's a u. The fact that I know it's a u tells me I'm setting up 3 coordinates, with the vertex being the middle. So, opposite of B, you're not doing opposite of H now, you don't have H. Opposite of B divided by 2 times A. So opposite of negative 3 is 3. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So 3 divided by negative 2 is negative 1.5. Just put that in if you want a second PRB it, that's fine. Negative 1.5 plus 1 is negative 0.5. And then negative 1.5 minus 1 is negative 2.5. Okay, so I'm going to start with negative 0.5 as the substitution number. So negative 1. Negative 0.5, close it. You got to put it to the second power. Minus 3. Negative 0.5, close it, and plus 6. 7.25, or 7 1/4. Now I want negative 1.5, so I want the negative still, and I want the 0.5, I just want a 1. Want the negative, I want a 1, okay? 8.25. Now I better be back to negatives to 7.25 here. Now I want negative 2.5. .25. Okay, so x, negative 0.5 is just negative halfway to 1, okay? And then 7.25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you just go past the 7 a little ways, okay? Negative 1.5, that's negative 1 and then halfway. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a little bit past 8. Negative 2.5, 7.25. So negative 1, negative 2, halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then right there. Okay. Okay, y equals 2x to the second power plus 4x. So that's a, that's x second. The x is the b. There's no c, but that's okay. You can put a plus 0. That can be your c. Just don't put it if it's a c. It's ABC rules, though. So x second. We know that's a u, so. So, opposite of b divided by 2 times a. So negative 4, 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Okay. Then you add 1 to the negative 1, that's 0. Minus 1, negative 2. Okay, so we have 2 times 0 to the second plus 4 times 0, 0. Now you're going to have to clear your calculator when because you can't fit the negative in there. It's not like it's that hard. Okay, I got negative 2. Now I put negative 2 in. Got 0. Good. So 0, 0, that's the origin. Negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2, 0. Arrows, please. Okay, y equals 4x to the second power minus 12x plus 9. Okay, x seconds there, it makes a u, it makes a parabola. We know that. X to the first power makes a line. If I have x second as the highest, that makes a parabola. That's how we know that. Okay. Okay, this is the vertex. Remember, that's opposite of B divided by 2 times A. So the opposite of negative 12 is positive 12. You don't make your A opposite. You put the 2 down. 2 times 4 is 8. 12 divided by 8 is 1.5, or 1.5. Add 1, it's 2.5. Go 1 the other way, 0.5. So we have 4, parentheses 2.5 to the second, minus 12, parentheses 2.5, plus 9. I got 4. Now I want 1.5 in for x. Well, I'm good with the 0.5. I just got to replace it with a 1 now. 0. Whoa, that doesn't seem right. Okay. Okay, 0, fine, whatever. Okay. Then 0.5. Back to 4, so I did it right. 2.54, so 1, 2 halfway, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 0.5 is just halfway in the middle. 1.50, 1 halfway. 0.54, so you just go halfway to 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you are. Okay, and then our last problem here today. Now I'm actually going to cross this problem out, okay? I'm going to make up a different one. Y equals 2x to the second plus 7, okay? That's what I want to do. Okay. Actually, I'll just put x to the second, put a 1 in front of it then, okay? 1x to the second plus 7. X second, there's no, so that's A, that is not B, that is C. C is the constant. The number's not multiplied by an x, it's a C. AX second, BX, and C. Okay, opposite of B divided by 2 times A. Problem, there's no B, okay? So the opposite of B is just 0. 0 doesn't really have an opposite. So 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 0 divided by 2 is 0. So 1, negative 1. So I have 1, parentheses 1 to the second, plus 7. That's 8. 7. Now you're going to have to delete it so you can put negatives in. Negative 1. 8. Okay. So 1, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then negative 1, 8. If the B is missing, that's going to be on the y-axis, okay, the origin.